We got a big sports story today. There's some life lessons that all Christians can learn from this individual who stepped down.
Let's get the people what they want. The Wade-O Radio Show.
So Kawhi Leonard is an NBA All-Star. He has been a Finals MVP. He has been a clutch performer. But one thing he has never done is played in the Olympics. And he had an opportunity to play on Team USA, and he was on Team USA. He actually was there for picture day yesterday and did media. And then today it was announced that he would not be playing with Team USA this summer in Paris, which is wild because, again, my man was there for picture day. He's kind of looking like Kendrick Lamar these days, too. That's another whole other conversation. But according to this article on ESPN, it says Kawhi Leonard will not play in the upcoming Paris Olympics for Team USA, which has replaced the LA Clippers forward with Boston Celtics guard Derek White. In a statement released Wednesday, USA Basketball implied that Leonard's decision was influenced by the Clippers and Team USA officials after observing training camp in Las Vegas over the past 3 days. So basically, the team said, hey, fam, we've seen enough. You missed several games at the end of last season, and we've seen enough. You're not going to play. And so I believe that there are some things from a spiritual perspective that us as believers can learn from this whole thing because, you know, you talk about the pinnacle of someone's career, the top of someone's field. There's not anything more prestigious that you can do from an athletic standpoint. I mean, maybe win a championship depending upon your sport, but playing in the Olympics is up there. And winning a gold medal for your country is absolutely up there. And he has decided not to do that. And so here's 3 things that I believe every Christian can learn from this situation. Here's the first one. Accountability. Kawhi Leonard clearly has it, and it's from the team. Now, you can say, well, Wade, they pay him a lot of money, so of course they're going to hold him accountable. But here's the reality of it. He still has to allow them to hold him accountable. It's still ultimately his choice whether or not he's going to play. I don't think there's anything in his contract that says you can't play in the Olympics if we tell you can't play in the Olympics. But he allowed someone to speak into his life and say, hey, fam, I don't think this is a good idea for you. And I think for us as believers and Christians, the Bible clearly calls us to be accountable to one another, confess our sins to one another, to allow people into our lives who can speak into the things that we may be struggling with, the things that we may be wrestling with, the things that they may see that we can't see, and say, hey, family, I know this might be a blind spot for you. I know this may be painful for you to hear and understand, but I think it may be wise for you to take a break and step down from this. Here's the second thing. Know your limits. We all have them. We're human. None of us are perfect. And it's imperative for us to know our limits, particularly as Christians. And when you look at Kawhi Leonard, people joke about him all the time because he does what's called load manage, right? So he doesn't play every game. He takes time to rest his body. He takes time to heal. He takes time to not exert himself too much to where he could get a serious injury that could keep him out for months or years or weeks. You know what I mean? And so he knows and understands his limit. And us as believers, we have to do the same thing. And let me give you a prime example. If you know you have anger problems, if you know you have anger issues, are you aware of the things that trigger you to be angry and to be upset and to act out? If you struggle with lust, are you aware of the situations or the circumstances that can cause you to backslide or to fall into a sin like that you're really wrestling with? You have limits, family. None of us are perfect. And so having those boundaries and those guardrails in place to help you not exceed your limits is super important for us as believers. And that's what Kawhi Leonard has in place when it comes to his professional basketball career. And here's the third thing. Humility. This dude is one of the top players in the league. And this takes a lot because I'm a Laker fan. But I got to call it how I see it. Kawhi is no joke. He's a legit stone cold killer. He's nice with it. But he's also humble enough to accept correction. He's humble enough to step down and say, nah, fam, I can't do this. I want you to think back to this. The original Dream Team, 1992, Larry Bird, he could barely walk, some people would say. His back was killing him. He retired shortly after that. But he still stayed on the team, and he just played limited minutes. Why couldn't Kawhi do something like this year? He could easily do that. But he was humble enough to understand, man, it's probably better for me to simply rest my body so that I'm prepared for the season, so that I can honor this contract that I signed, so I can be there for my teammates who I play with year in and year out. And the team may have even said, hey, we just think you need to rest this, man. We can't risk you getting injured in the Olympics. Who knows what they want to do? Some people think they want to trade him. I don't know. But I just think us as believers, that's a lesson we have to, like, the Bible clearly calls us to operate and function in humility. If someone gives you feedback, are you humble enough to accept it? If someone says, hey, fam, you hurt my feelings, are you humble enough to apologize to them? If someone says, hey, you made a mistake, you're in error, are you humble enough to say, you know what? You're right. I'm sorry. How can I make that right with you? I'm going to try not to do that again. I'm going to try to put things in place so that I don't inadvertently make that same mistake twice. So again, accountability, know your limits, humility. All of us can learn that from Kawhi Leonard. Hey, family, thank you so much for tuning in. Please make sure you hit the subscribe button, like this video, and leave us a comment. Would love to hear your thoughts on what we were just discussing. Also, if you want to book me for your next event, whether you got a concert, a party, a youth function, a corporate event, whatever it is, send us an email. It's booking@wadeallradio.com. I'd love to DJ your next event.